My name is Nate. Welcome to the DivMan channel. Today I want to talk about a cool tool that I found on a high yield investing Discord called YieldMight. Now, the whole point of this tool is to figure out if I put X amount of money into a certain fund, how much on average am I going to get out of that per month or per week or whatever the interval is based on the payout frequency. The cool thing about this tool is it basically does your Excel homework, or at least it gives you a ballpark figure. You probably still want to do your Excel homework. It gives you a way of seeing this data that you would normally have to work pretty darn hard to find out a little bit easier. So let me show you the tool. This is the YieldMight Tool. And as you can see here, you put in whatever capital you're going to put into, like a YieldMax, or in this case here, like a Roundhill tool ETF. They might have some other companies. I don't really, yeah, it looks like they've got Clip, they've got ProShares, so they've got a bunch of the high yield funds. And on the left side, if there's a particular, fund or stock you're hoping to look into, it will filter for that. So here's you could get one that's Dow based, DJIA. There's Bitcoin based. There's Mag 7, so in this case Facebook. There's Russell 2000, and then there's obviously like individual stocks. Let's see what MSTR has. Just MSTY here. So this is a neat tool, and it allows you to like broad-based, look over several different funds based on what you would put in, and then based on the average payout, I guess for a month or maybe 2 months, or maybe since fund inception. I don't quite know how they're averaging out these dividends, but it's going to tell you what you're probably going to get. Now, of course, on this side, it's telling you, please don't like use this for like your only source of data and then like completely screw up. So just use it as a data point, but it's pretty cool to like get a ballpark figure. So like, let's say you just got $2,000 in a bonus or something, and let's just look and see what the payouts are going to be. And these are the weekly funds. So this is a weekly payout. QQQY would give you for 2,000 initial, it would give you about $20, and then RDTE, QDTE, XDTE, YieldMax, YBTC, YMAG. It tells you just very basically what you're going to get out of those yields. Now, the cool one obviously is MSTY. So for $2,000 in MSTY, on average, based on previous returns, you're probably going to get about $148.53. Let's do Bitcoin really quick, just as a overview, because it has a bunch of different funds. Now, I don't know if you guys knew that BITX 2x Bitcoin ETF. I forget who publishes that one. It might be ProShares, but BITX actually is a leveraged Bitcoin, but it pays a decent dividend. As you can see, an average monthly dividend for $2,000 initial investment is going to give you about $20 a month. So that's pretty good. And you get to ride whatever Bitcoin does 2x, so either up or down. And it's almost comparable to Roundhill's payout for their dividends. And you're only getting, 1x, or actually really less than 1x the price movement of Bitcoin, because it's covered call. Actually, this is weekly. Sorry. So YBTC. Sorry, that was incorrect what I said. YBTC, because they started paying weekly, that's going to be around $60 a month based on what they've already paid. YBIT, that's YieldMax. It's going to be 107. BTCI is around 50. BITO ProShares is going to be at about 100. So yeah, this is a super cool tool, and since I've got it up, let me just also give cred to the person who started it, Miss Roundhill. I think that's the name of her channel, Miss Roundhill, if I'm not mistaken. But if this tool ends up being useful to you and you've got some extra div money or just want to show your appreciation. This is linked right here. Buy me a coffee. Support Miss Roundhill. Couple of other tools I just want to show, since a lot of you are MSTY holders. This is a MicroStrategy data point, and it's MSTR-tracker.com. And this is just a super cool tool because it shows basically how what the NAV is for MSTR versus their Bitcoin holdings, and it shows a whole bunch of other data points like their ranking in the S&P 500. I mean, they're not officially ranked in the S&P yet, I don't think, but they're heading that way. They've been eligible for a few quarters, I think. But here's their NASDAQ rating. They've only been in the NASDAQ 100 for less than a month, and they're already, or maybe a month now, but they're already at 41 out of 100, at least as far as their trade rankings. I don't quite know how they reckon that. That's probably based on volume or something. But their Bitcoin balances here, what their holdings are worth. And there's another one here. It's called sailortracker.com. So you can see sailortracker.com. And then here is the value of their Bitcoin, the number of Bitcoin, and then their unrealized gain. They're probably never going to try to realize that gain by selling. They might realize it by issuing shares as their value of their company goes up. But it's got that. It's got all these buy points of when Michael Saylor is buying. So as you can see, he's been buying a lot lately, and they have that 21 and 21 plan or what have you. Yeah, so it just shows you exactly how much Bitcoin MSTR bought. And then there's also one for El Salvador. They recently took on a IMF loan, and so they've started to increase their buys for their Bitcoin a little bit more, and they're doing what we should be doing, which is holding Bitcoin as a treasury asset to back their national stability, their currency. And El Salvador has a huge unrealized gain here. Looks like $181 million is their gain. That's unrealized. I hope they don't sell either. But it is 123%. And by the way, they recently announced that they were going to start paying people's electric bill in their country because of this capital that they've got. I assume from IMF, but also from their Bitcoin holdings, which they can use as collateral for loans. Couple of other MSTR charts. This one is MSTRmoon.com. MSTRmoon.com. This just shows you mainly different dates in MSTR's calendar that are important. So obviously it's got just general stuff like the Fed meeting, inauguration. FTX is their bankruptcy. They finally said that they're going to issue some of that money from the liquidation of different stuff they had, and they're going to pay back people, so that might go back into crypto or Bitcoin specifically. And so just different charts here. It has a little bit about their bonds that they're issuing, so that's pretty cool. They've got just, I guess, a comparison chart between themselves, and I did not look this over beforehand. This is a new section of the site. So just explore this on your own, mstrmoon.com. And then here's just a general BTC Spot ETF holdings chart. And this shows the price of the per share, how they're tracking with the price movement of Bitcoin and just their general, nominal increase of the share price. And then it's got the assets under management. It's got the inflows and outflows. It allows you to just filter for a particular one, like IBIT, which is BlackRock. So pretty cool stuff. Just wanted to show these tools. I use these from time to time to try and gauge the market. Although for the most part, I'm not jumping in and out that often. I'm mostly like long for these positions, and so I'm definitely long on MSTY because it became house money only like 10 months into the fund's existence. It paid for itself faster than any of the other YieldMax funds, probably faster than any dividend-paying stock or ETF. MSTY paid for itself if you bought at the inception date. So just wanted to share these tools. You know, the YieldMight tool, you can play around with it. 100,000. I don't have quite that much money, but if I did, I would be making quite a lot. Let me see, if I put 100,000 into MSTY, I'd be making $7,400 per month. And if you remember my MSTY video, that fund doesn't really have a NAV problem that often. So anyway, thanks for your time. Please like and subscribe. If you have a question or comment, feel free to leave that. And share this video if this is helpful. Thanks for your time. Bye.